Hello, everybody. To continue with my, movie watching streak and reviewing, I watched Fruitvale Station. Um, Fruitvale Station was great. I reviewed it and gave it a 4.5 on letterboxd. I just thought it was a, almost perfect but very phenomenal movie. Um, so before I get into, talking about the film itself, I wanted to shed light a little bit on Oscar Grant and the whole situation that happened with him. Um, I mean, I just want to reiterate that Oscar Grant was a 22-year-old African American male who was riding on the BART train on New Year's and um, was shot after he had gone into a physical altercation with a few people on the train. The police had him cuffed and they were kneeling on his head, and an officer who was behind him would reach into his utility belt and would pull out his firearm and shoot Oscar Grant through the back. Um, and he would get transported to the hospital and he would die later that night. Um, and yeah, that's what happened to Oscar Grant that night, and the police officer wasn't convicted to anything major or harsh, which is crazy, and it's just sad because stuff like this is still happening today. And the Oscar Grant situation happened, you know, what, in 2009, so 16 years ago now, and it's really just sad to see. But to get into the actual movie itself, I wanted to highlight the beginning of the movie because I thought that the vision that Ryan Coogler had, you know, he executed it pretty well, in my opinion. The beginning of the movie starts off with a scene or the actual footage of what happens to Oscar Grant, and it really sets the tone and pace instantly for the rest of the movie, and it's honestly one of the best ways I've seen a movie open up. Um, yeah, it's really cool to see that this is Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler's first work together for a feature film, as well as this is Ryan Coogler's directorial and writer debut, as this is his first feature film. Um, the performances in this were great in my opinion. Melanie Diaz's performance is amazing, and so is Octavia Spencer's. And yeah, they really those three people really tied the movie together. Their performances were amazing. Acting was great. Yeah, just all around the board, just great. Um, the dialogue in this film was very good. I thought that this movie is written. It's almost not like a script, if that makes sense. Like, it's so down to earth and so utterly realistic that it feels like you are really peering into this individual's life and seeing the people around him who he loves and cares for, as well as how much they also love and care him. And I just thought that was great. um, the color grading in it, it's not the best in the world, but at the same time, some of the scenes that were, you could notice the color grading, they were amazing. And yeah, like the train scene, where the BART is going over the bridge and you can see the color grading. It's an amazing scene. Um, and yeah, the pacing and tension creation in the movie is phenomenal. It's you really kind of have an anxiety attack because you kind of know where this movie is gonna go, and I just feel like that's also just great. Um, to talk about the cinematography, it wasn't spectacular. It didn't blow me out of the water, but some of the shots were amazing, and you know, the cinematography was never terrible or bad. I would just say it was, above average and, good to great. And uh, my only real nitpicks about the cinematography is, just the amount of handhelds that are throughout the film, and it does add to the movie to an extent, but at some points it really gets repetitive, and you start to notice that it's a bunch of these handheld shots, but it's kind of just a nitpick. Um, Shorter review today because I don't think there's really a lot to say about this movie. Um, and I just, at the end of the day, I really just want to highlight that this movie does what this movie is trying to do. Is really humanize Oscar Grant and make the audience believe that, or know that this person, an individual, isn't just a person who was brutalized by the police, but as well as that, he was an individual who was full of love and complexity and humanity, who didn't deserve to be brutalized by the police on that night. And yeah, the movie just does an amazing job of making you realize that, wow, he isn't just a name and a headline, but he's this person and an individual who, is just like all of us, human. And yeah, I just wanted to end the review off by emphasizing that. And I hope more people go watch Fruitvale Station. It's a great movie. Thank you.